Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto News Podcast. We're buzzing as always. It's 2023. Hope everyone has an incredible start to the new year. And today we got Max Krupyshev, the co-founder and CEO of the crypto payment ecosystem CoinsPaid, which is a market leader in terms of transaction volume. Max is a serial entrepreneur with long-standing experience in developing fintech and crypto projects. Max entered the world of crypto in 2013 and stood at the origins of this market in Ukraine, launching a Bitcoin foundation to promote crypto adoption in the country. As the CEO of CoinsPaid, Max sets the goal for the company to become the connecting link between crypto and traditional businesses. Super pumped to have this dude on. Max, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you very much, Matt. Great intro. I appreciate it.
Hey, your team put it on a platter for me. A nice little right-handed layup with no one in the way on the way to the hoop. So all good there. Max, pumped to have you on, man. You're chilling in Berlin right now. That's one city I've never been to. Always wanted to go. What's Berlin like?
Yeah, you should. It's a nice place. It's very international one, right? It's not really like any other German places, right? It's not like Munich and so on. It's very, very young, right? A lot of the people from all over the world are coming here for the techno space, for the startup space, for the art space, right? So it's sort of like completely different. If you ask people around what they like about Berlin, you will hear absolutely different things. But you should come. You should come for some conference or events. Just find a good reason. I will show you around. The city is amazing. Most of the people don't like it from the first try, right? So potentially you have to stay at least for a week to sort of get into the details of the city.
Yeah.
But in general, it's big, but it doesn't really have the problems of the big city. It's still spacious. It's still no traffic jam, so you can move around and so on. In general, I would recommend a place to live in.
I mean, that's a pretty good sales pitch for Berlin, not gonna lie. What's the crypto scene like in Berlin? Is it bumping at all?
This is where I'm sort of course, everyone who is in Berlin doing some crypto crazy, nice rocket science stuff will hate. But I sort of missing a bit, of the scene here. There are, of course, some bigger projects like the Polkadot are here. The guys from the Parity were here. The guys who were behind Ethereum launch, many of them were here and I think still are, right? So the amount of the projects here is quite a lot. But I just don't see sort of the community which is meeting, which is sort of chit-chatting about crypto and so on. Right. Maybe I'm just asking and looking in the wrong places. Right, but I sort of hear that it is amazing. Many people say, "Oh, the best scene is for crypto is in Berlin." But when I'm, for example, in Portugal, even in Portugal, I feel this is like much more things happening than in Berlin. But there are some cool projects here, definitely. I just sort of don't see them often around.
Interesting. Oh, Max, maybe you ought to grab the bull by the horns and fire off a crypto event series. Couldn't hurt, right?
Exactly. No. I think at some point I probably would.
Yeah, you could call it, fintech Berlin.
No, we have a chat, which is like Bitcoin Berlin, with around 100 plus people. Basically, everyone who is somehow involved in the crypto projects. There are some cool guys there from the Fireblogs, from Solaris Bank. They are sort of having quite a strong cryptocurrency department, right? And basically offering the services. So we have a team, but they are not so much a party guys looks like. But it's a matter of inviting everyone. I agree with you.
Well, when you guys pop it off, I will be there. So we'll put that on the docket. By the time this episode airs, this will be very early 2023. Crazy to think. It's always trippy when end of December rolls around. And I always remember being a kid, like the first couple weeks in school when there was actually writing, the date on a piece of homework or a notepad or whatever. And I remember, writing the new year. It was always trippy. So let's take this opportunity. Let's go back into 2022, talk about really what happened. We entered 2022 with a bunch of steam, shit ton of momentum, and it stayed for first couple months across the whole, I would say, in regards to crypto, building companies, B2B, NFTs, and then everything went to shit. We had Terra Luna, we had FTX, we had Celsius, we had BlockFi. Absolute bananas. How do you summarize 2022, if you could?
Yeah, we all had a feeling that 2020 started bad, then 2021 was a bit weird. And 2022 sort of shown us that 2020 and 2021 were not that bad. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, I feel that crypto in the beginning of the year was already an inertia, right? I don't think there were already like a push, right? I think when people started speaking about crypto winter and sort of like Q1, Q2, honestly, I started selling in December last year, right? So to me, it was sort of clear that the momentum is gone already, right? There is nothing to push really the industry, the investment interests, the price, and so on up, right? I mean, for me, being Ukrainian, the craziness of the year started in the end of the February, right? When Russia sort of started the war in Ukraine. Well, we of course have a lot of the people spread. I mean, employees, right, spread between Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. And right now, you see there is a lot of the movements that I don't really respect, such as the hatred, right, between Ukrainians and Russians and so on. But let's not speak about this very deeply. Of course, we needed to do a lot of activities first to relocate people, right, from the places where they are potentially in danger, right, and then also do some activities and statements as the company, how we see all this evolving, right, what we think about Russian citizens, right, because right now you see that there is a lot of discrimination according to the passport, right, even for the people who might not be living in Russia, not supporting. Yep. Supporting the regime and so on, right? So I don't really like, this hatred between people or so on, right? I'm saying this as a Ukrainian as well, right? And I'm sure that for this, a lot of Ukrainians will say, Max, are you crazy? What are you saying? So yeah, it started, of course, with the war. I mean, we needed to do a lot as a company, right? And also supporting Ukraine fully with donations, charities and stuff. Then, of course, what started to happen in May, right, with the Luna, yeah, they sort of shown that the industry is not that established and stable as we sort of thought it to be, right? Speaking about this was one of the top on the CMC, right? Luna, I think we're in the top 20. I'm not sure if in the top 10, but it was huge.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, UST maybe was not that huge, right? But it was very, very sort of quickly growing. And yeah, so it sort of, I think it was May, maybe started a bit in April. There started some rumors that the market is in danger.
And then May.
May was crazy. June was crazy. July sort of was a bit of the quietness, but there was still, I think, the domino effect, right, from Luna. Because, of course, anyone who were relying on UST, those funds who invested heavily in the Luna, they sort of got wiped or wrecked, how we say in the industry. And then basically we saw that some other companies are closing, like Celsius, right? Appeared to be that they were not too ready for the decrease of the prices of the crypto, right? So business models which were sort of born and expecting crypto to grow forever, many of them just completely closed their doors. Some of them closed their doors in sort of nice way, just saying, sorry guys, we don't have money to provide you this service anymore, so we are closing down, but your money are safe. And some of them closed, sorry guys, we already spent even your money.
Sorry guys, you're screwed.
Yeah, sorry guys, we don't have money at all, neither to operate business, neither to give you the money that you put into our systems, investment protocols or whatever. So yeah, I mean, this was a domino effect. So I think during summer, I saw on some conferences, honestly, people were saying, oh, this crypto winter will end in December. And I'm like, are you sure you should be on the stage? And then...
oh, that's good. Hey, they have an agenda too, Like if they're, I don't know, if they have a fund or whatever the case may be, their bias is through the roof. It helps them to let their consumers and people in network know that they think it's going to rise. Otherwise, why would you give someone money who, thinks a bear market is present or imminent? It's tough.
But this is also a bit of a problem, right? When people sort of try to push their business, try to push their interests, right? But when they do it sort of from the stage, right? For the people who sort of came to listen, not about your business, right? But when you play as sort of an expert, right? So you need to give people some, I don't know, realistic projections and your expert opinion, right? If this is, by the way, a problem that I see on many crypto conferences, which maybe except of the top ones, that the lineup is the people who paid money to be on the stage to promote their business, right? And I hate this, right? And many events, unfortunately, are like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, I don't want to say that I was right and everyone were wrong, right? But it looked like we don't really have a reason to think that something will end, right? And if we speak about a bit, like a helicopter view looking on the economics of the world, right? We all know that the printing machine was on during 2020 and 2021. Of course, we see the inflation happening, I think, all over the world, right? You probably see this in Canada as well, even feel it in Canada as well. The governments had to increase the interest rates, right? And increasing interest rates sort of usually doesn't really help risky investments, right? Because people, when professionals assess their investment opportunities, they sort of see what is the low risk ones and what is the returns for the low risk ones. And I think one of the reasons why crypto got a lot of the money pumped into the ecosystem was the negative interest rates, that people just didn't want to put money into the bonds or whatever. They didn't want to put money just in the bank because during the inflation and negative interest rates, it doesn't really work, right? You don't really get anything extra. You just see how your $100 becoming less of the buying power, but the same amount of dollars. And people always try to sort of multiply money slightly. So crypto looked like a potentially good opportunity for investment. And then when the ball started rolling like a snowball, it started to get more and more attention. But right now, when we look what is happening right now, interest rates are getting higher, right? So people with the big money, they sort of think maybe we should pause a bit, right? And usually when the government is increasing the interest rates, how they do right now, it's sort of saying that the economy in the next year or two will not be doing great.
Yeah, it's cooling down, fellas. It's cooling down.
Exactly, it's cooling down. So investments into startups, probably risky. Investments into very speculative assets, also sort of a very risky bet, right? So we don't really have the momentum, right? We don't really have any fundamental reasons for the crypto to suddenly skyrocket. So, and then FTX crash, it sort of put a big red cross on all of us. So if in 2021 we were treated sometimes like superheroes, right? People who are creating the new world, new economy, especially for the people who are recently in the space, right? Who are recently started to read about crypto, people with the real businesses in crypto were like, wow, what are you doing, guys? Right? And then after FTX crash, it was like everyone are looking on anyone in the crypto space like, are you a scammer?
Yeah. And now everyone looks at us as if we're demonic. Everyone thinks we're demons now. It's like, oh, you're still in the space after all this turmoil, after all the people who got fucked, after all of this, and you're still kicking. It's like, hey, look, we're building, we're having fun. It's a long-term play. There's ebbs and flows than anything else in life. I'm sure people who were in the .com era in the early 2000s probably got the same, cloud over their head where people were like, you really going to do this? You really going to work in the internet industry, in the web industry? And you know what I mean? Now it's like, well, I mean, who doesn't use the internet every single day for at least a couple hours? I don't know anyone. Only time will tell, right?
Yeah. I don't want to speculate that crypto is the new internet, right? But definitely it looks like, right? So we sort of have a relatively slow adoption. We have some waves, right? And people who saw internet in 2002 think like, oh, internet was a rocket, right? It sort of was gaining the attention from 2002. And I think I started using internet approximately 2003, right? So I'm not an early adopter of the internet. But internet existed years before, right? It was this email between the universities and so on. What it started in the late 80s, no?
Yep. way back.
Exactly. It took many years, right? Really, for the internet to sort of get into homes, right? So, I mean, what I see right now, like in the crypto space and I don't know, the industry now has so many names. It's Web3, it's blockchain,
Crypto,
it's
yeah.
crypto space, right? It's for me, it's hard to switch, right now, people like introducing me entrepreneur from the Web3 space. I'm like, I'm not doing anything in the Web3.
You're doing crypto payments, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very interesting. But Max, that was a great little review and refresh of 2022. What a year. Let's talk about 2023. Do you have any trends or any hot subjects that you think will be in a positive or negative light will sort of be the narrative of the industry in 2023?
I think I have three. In two of them, I'm pretty much sure. And the third, maybe not that much. I think this would be a lot about the transparency for the cryptocurrency companies, right? Any centralized platform now will have to be proving to the people, to the community,
reserves, funds,
that they sort of know what they're doing, right? Because I think still a lot of people will not understand what does it mean, right? I mean, mostly like an new users who are here for maybe quick money and so on. So anyways, I think this would be more about businesses have to prove that they are legit. And I think that might be getting sort of the consortium of the companies who are good, right? And those who play according to some weird rules. I still don't see, or maybe I'm just still not there, right? The sort of like a very friendly, group of companies who support each other, who just operate in the business, right? I always tend to see there is like a group of American companies, the group of Asian companies, right? Who sort of not very friendly with each other. And sort of when I saw the clash of FTX and Binance, to me, it was a bit like that, right? It's sort of East against West. So I think we will be getting there. There should be some independent group of people, right, who will be imposing maybe some sort of non-official regulation for the companies, right? I think we will be getting there soon. The second one, I think this is regulation, right? This is becoming a big topic everywhere. I mean, it's becoming...
Has to happen.
Yeah, it's becoming big topic for a long time now, right? As we are in Europe, we sort of follow the MiCA, right? Which is the pan-European regulation. This is the market... what's the I think investment or something, and the CA is the crypto assets. So they finally added the word cryptocurrency assets, right? Because this was like virtual assets or so on, digital assets and so on. So this is now crypto assets. So this would be a pan-European regulation, which I think will make things better for existing companies, but might make things harder for the new startups, right? Because this is sort of a proper financial regulation, right? So if for any startup who is now entering the centralized space, this would be quite a thing that they have to comply before being able to provide any services to the public or to the businesses. So these are two things which I think are inevitable, right? They will be happening. Then I heard someone from the BlackRock saying about tokenization of securities, right? So, and I sort of tend to like the idea, right? That the next crypto spring, right, might be around tokenization of securities, right? So people will be using their Web3 wallets, right, to own physical things. Right, so I think this is what we achieved, sort of, with the stable coins, right? Because if you think about them, they are tokenized securities, right? Already. I mean, we might be arguing about regulations and how they are regulated, how they are audited, and so on. But I think the next sort of bigger wave might be that you will be owning your physical goods by owning a tokens of these physical goods. It might also have space for NFTs, sort of revised slightly, right? So because NFTs right now, for most of the people, is art, right? It's pictures.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is the best utilization of the NFT technology, right? So I think when we are able to own land, house, car, and or just a piece,
real world assets.
yeah, just a piece of real estate, for example, this is something that will change the space a lot and give people understanding what is real utilization of this blockchain things, right? Because many people are skeptical about crypto, about blockchain, because they're like, what does it bring to the world, right? What is really, which problem are you guys really solving, right? And when you start explaining what are you solving, they're like, but this is not really needed, or this is more like for the gray area businesses and so on. And when you say, but this is about freedom, they say, but freedom is not very good because it's like then how you do AML. So this is still, a topic which is unsolvable for now, I think.
Those are great little, great predictions, though. I love those. And that was a great segue into the next point I'd love to go over, which is the massive increase in crypto payments this year, 2022, and obviously it's going to be buzzing in 2023, and more specifically, the luxury goods industry. Tons of luxury watch dealers and yachts and homes, haute couture, you name it. It's been widely accepted, and they are now understanding that a lot of wealthy people made money via crypto and they want to spend it and they don't want to cash out. But until then, we got to give a huge shout out to our sponsor of the show, that is Prime XBT. We love Prime XBT as they offer a robust trading system for both beginners and professional traders. Doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a vet, you can easily design and customize your layouts and widgets to best fit your trading style. Prime XBT is also running an exclusive promo for listeners of the Crypto News podcast. Use the promo code CryptoNews50, that is CryptoNews50, to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Again, use the promo code CryptoNews50 to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Back to the show. Max, the luxury goods industry, to an absolute craziness. As someone who runs and manages one of the largest payment processors, that is the crypto payment processor, what do we have in store for the next couple of years in regards to luxury goods? Is the momentum just going to keep balling, and are we going to keep buzzing in this regard? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I like sort of what I see, that right now the adoption of crypto in e-commerce, right? So any online business is selling anything for crypto, right? We all know that it started with drugs, right? It's not a secret, right? It started purely with drugs. Many people say that Bitcoin survived through 2010, 2011 only because of the Silk Road, right? I don't want to argue about that, but this is how it happened. Right now, a majority of the payments for everyone who is dealing with the payments in crypto, right now, the main consumer of the crypto payments, and this is proven on the chain analysis, Crystal blockchain, and all the analytics, is gaming, right? I'm not speaking only about video games. I also speaking about sports betting, right? Which is treated as entertainment.
Yeah.
And also casino games. All right. We also see adoption from the esport, right? So esport trading of different items, and also esports betting, right? On the games, on the tournaments for the PUBG, Dota, and some other games, right? I'm not a big gamer myself. So this is where we are right now. All the hype in the luxury goods, I mostly connected with the hype that was happening last year, right? So I think all the loud announcement that we heard during 2021 and beginning of 2022 was mostly because they were willing to gain attention from this 300 millions of crypto users, right? Because people were crazy about crypto, and basically whatever you as a big brand do, all the newspapers, everyone are happy to post that the Burberry now accepts Bitcoin, right? Or Versace or Gucci or whatever, right? Everybody loved the content, and that is why we all heard about that.
Yeah.
In reality, they are not pro-crypto, pro-blockchain, right? In reality, they just wanted the attention from potential users, right? And of course, on the hype of crypto, many people made money on crypto. Why not start buying luxury goods, right? So this is sort of logical. I don't say it's good. I don't say it's bad. I just feel this was the reasoning, right?
Do you think that a lot of people buy luxury goods because it's a very easy way to not launder money? I believe that's the wrong term, but to not pay taxes on that?
Potentially, yes. People who made money on DeFi's, on tradings, right, and so on, they have this money in USDT.
And you have to offboard it somehow. So what do? Right? It's like, well, you could buy a Rolex, and now you have a Rolex, which you can then sell for cash. You know, and like realistically, who's going to know at the end of the day?
This is basically the thing which I was saying about crypto. When you speak with the people from the real world economy, right? They start asking questions. Why would Rolex accept crypto as a payment method? And you say, because people are willing to pay. And they're like, but why? Right? And you say, because they earned money in crypto on trading or whatever. They're like, why don't they sell it and withdraw to the bank account? And then you say, they just don't want the attention from the government, right? From their banks, explaining how they did it and so on. But in the end of the day, right, we are entering the gray space, right? And this is something which is without the regulation, right, where all the sort of majority of the crypto which is there existing and so on, they have sort of some sort of source, right? If you trade it on the crypto exchange, this crypto exchange has to submit information about you to the tax office, right? In the end of the day, right? And that is why regulation is good to protect the customers, right? But it's also very good for the governments and the tax offices to sort of do their job. And this clash is extremely interesting, right? Because this sort of, again, gives a red cross on many ways why crypto was used in the first place.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's mostly why, for the speed, right, and for the untransparency from the financial system, right? The whole Bitcoin idea, you own your money, right? You are your own bank, right? It was stated. I mean, I'm just rephrasing what was in the original document from Satoshi Nakamoto, right? This was the general idea why we need crypto in the first place. Now, when we all became older and more clever, right, we understand that being your own bank is illegal. In the end of the day, right now, when we think about a person was trading cryptocurrencies on some exchanges or on the Web3, DeFi's and whatever, and they made money in Bitcoin, in USDT, in USDC or whatever, and now he buys Rolexes, he is laundering money.
There you have it.
You see how we ended up?
Yeah. No, it's true. It is. It's unfortunate because that's one of the biggest narratives of this space.
Yeah. So owning your own money is not okay. Looks like, according to all of the regulators, right? And I'm not such a big visionary to understand how this all will end up, right? We understand that people who, for example, do sports betting, right? In many places in the world, right, this might not be completely legal, right? But people still want to watch the game, right? And for them, watching the game is more interesting if they bet, I don't know, $20 on the team that they like. And basically, cryptocurrency for them is like a VPN, right? It's like a browser, right? With the VPN and the browser, you can access any content from the world, right? And crypto is just a tool that gives you the ability to pay to anyone in the world, right? I mean, saying that VPN is illegal is also one way to look at the things, right? Because why people would be using VPN? Not to enter the 2FA while accessing the Facebook. Really? Not really a reason that we all would believe, right?
Very true.
There too, I don't know, to visit some websites which are only available for this sort of the country, right? And why it's only for that sort of the country? Many reasons, right? Or if they want to hide their real IP, from whom and why, right? Those are many questions, right? And basically those questions are also fair for the crypto, unfortunately, right? And here, cryptocurrency is a great instrument that really gives you the freedom to use your funds, right? I mean, Okay, so I want to say that if you earned this money in a literally illegal way, right? I mean, selling drugs to kids or selling people or whatever, I judge it, right? But if you earned this money, like you did some services for someone over the internet, right? Or you, I don't know, you traded cryptocurrencies on decentralized exchanges, right? Or you lended some money on some lending protocols and so on, and you earned them. I think this is a fair way to earn money, right? I don't think this is bad or illegal or whatever. And right now, when you use these funds to pay for anything in the world, you sort of should have the right to do so. But here, the question about showing your income and the taxes, this is still the thing which is not clear. How people from all over the world, maybe who travel a lot, right, who living in the countries, I don't know how many people live in Indonesia, right, without becoming the tax residents of Indonesia, and so on. These are all very good questions from the connection with the gray space, and I'm officially not. To me, it's not clear what is really the way to go here.
It's tough, and only time will tell. Max, let's jump into the payment processing. Crypto payments, obviously that's you and the team's bread and butter. If I had a business and let's say I was doing something rather common like e-commerce and I wanted to adopt crypto payments, I wanted to have a payment processor on my website, I wanted to use CoinsPaid. How do I get set up? How easy is it? Try to give me the steps and walk me through it as if I'm, a new customer of yours who just finished the onboarding process and it's time to actually get my payment processor set up on my website.
Yeah, so it's basically the same flow that you would have with any other means of receiving the payments, right? Usually the first thing is to find and select the provider that you like, right? Ours is cryptoprocessing.com. Right? So if you look in crypto processing, maybe you will Google and just find us. Basically, then you just fill in the short form on the website, right? Or maybe someone introduced you to us, you clarify some questions, and you do the KYC, right? So you as a company provide us the documents so that we can sign an agreement on us providing you the services, right? This is obligatory, this is regulation, and the common sense. We need to understand with whom are we working. As soon as the agreement is signed and we asked all the questions to each other, which we wanted to ask and had to ask, you get the back office, right? If you are B2B platform, right, and I don't know, you sell jets, right? You sell jets, and I don't think that you sell 100 jets a day. You probably send, if you're doing great, you sell one jet a day, right? And for one jet a day, your financial manager might just use a back office, right? You don't need a deep API integration. If you are the shop which sells hundreds of goods a day, you will be doing API integration. And here it depends if your payment aggregator that you are using at the moment has us integrated already. You just insert the API keys in their back office and it's up and running, right? If suddenly you don't use anyone, right, and you integrate payment solutions on our own, we have the integration team. This is basically a team of UX specialists and ex-developers, basically who will help your developers to set up a best flow and integrate it into your business model, right? Business models are different, right? So we have different SOs for different ones, but in the end, this is onboarding, which includes the KYC and signing of agreement and integration. After that, you have an account manager who is basically your support, questions, developments guy or a lady that you can speak basically any time of the day and night. We have 24/7 account managers, right? So you will have one dedicated, but if you need help during the night or whatever, you always will have a way to email or to write in the chat, basically get support and attention that you're craving.
So it's a cakewalk. Super easy to sign up, very easy to get paid in crypto, and the rest just takes care of itself.
Yeah, I just want to add, basically, yeah, so the process is very simple. Many people are asking questions like, is it really safe to work with crypto, right? They usually ask questions like, what if it is a double spend? And what if the price of crypto changes? We're basically shielding from all the risks. There are not only two that people are usually curious about, right? So we can offset the price of crypto instantly, and we usually do that, right? I mean, for example, if you're selling computers for Bitcoin and you have prices in Bitcoin, right, and you want to accept Bitcoin, of course we don't convert, right, because you don't need it.
Right.
You are just a person who accumulates Bitcoin while selling computers. But majority of the merchants are not like that, right? They sell computers for dollars or for euros, and they of course need to sell a computer for the exact amount of dollars. This is what we do, right? So we help to receive different variety of assets on different blockchains, but we immediately convert it to the currency that you need.
I mean, it's huge. And you guys have one example. Well, I'm sure you have more than one, but in the research that I did, I saw one example. And that was with, it's funny, you used a jet company for me, but you guys actually did partner with a jet company, and that was Mirai Flights. And the revenue increased by 30% after adding a crypto payment option. Again, and I have no affiliation with CoinsPaid. I have no affiliation with any company currently in the payment processing space a la crypto. It just seems like a no-brainer. There's people like myself who would sometimes love to pay in Tether. That's, waiting for an opportunity. I really just don't get it. It's such a no-brainer. The costs are so low. The fees are so low on the merchant's end. I get the FUD. I get the objections that came up, many that you just handled in regards to price fluctuations or double spends. But this just seems like such a no-brainer, right? It seems like the same businesses where you walk in and they're like, oh, well, it's cash only. It's like, okay, well, you guys are like, what is this? Mafia, money law. There's got to be something. And then on the flip side, there's businesses where it's like, there's so many now where it's card only. There's cashless. And it's just, if you can, why not give as many opportunities as possible for people to pay? I really don't get it.
This is the case that this is the geographical thing, right? So in different places in the world,
right.
There are different rules of the game.
Yeah.
But for international business, a company, a website that sells to many different countries, I think adopting a common language for the payments and internet, which is cryptocurrency at the moment, right? This is the only real way that is accepted in all of the currencies in the world, right? Small amount of merchants, right? But you can buy crypto in any country in the world, and you can spend crypto at least somewhere in pretty much any country in the world, right? And basically, this is becoming a money of the internet, right? And it was invented to become a money of the internet. So yes, and what you said, basically, I was in Stockholm just 2 weeks ago, and they have this, the currency SEK, right, which is kronas, I think, Swedish krona. I haven't seen any money during a week there. I haven't seen money. Everyone are paying with the cards, with the phones, or Apple Watch, right? I haven't seen money for a week. In Germany, yesterday I went to buy flowers in Berlin. I went in 2 places. The first one just said, we don't accept anything but cash, right? So only nur bar, it's called.
Cash
in
only.
Germany. So only cash. And I was like, okay. I went home, grabbed some cash and went to another place to find out that they also accept only cash, but now I have cash. All right, so you cannot just go around in Berlin only with your phone, but you absolutely can in Sweden. How far is Sweden from Germany in the mind of the Canadian gentleman? They should be the same, right? They are nearby. They are in Europe. They are sort of the same level of, development and whatever. Those are completely different countries in the terms how people treat money, how they pay, and so on. So yeah, I mean, you're completely right. There is no certain rule for the local businesses all around the globe, but for really international ones, right, who sell to many, mostly for services, right? That is why I see a lot of traction from entertainment. They're usually very global.
Right.
We see this for the luxury.
Yeah.
We see this for the travel because they're also very global, right? If you need to buy the tickets, I don't know, if you're planning your trip through Asia, you probably will not be doing this particularly through Canadian website, right? Because they are probably not specializing on that. They might not have some local airlines that are flying through Philippines, right? So you will be going there, right? And if they accept crypto, it makes it easier for everyone across the globe to just pay them in USDT, right?
Keeps everyone happy.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. Max, this has been an absolute treat, man. Really appreciate you coming on. Last segment of the show here, Hot Take Factory. Do you have any hot takes that you'd love to throw out into the open air? It doesn't have to be crypto related. It can be sports, politics, food, geography, space, AI, you name it. Anything that gets you excited or makes you irk that perhaps only you believe in that most others do not.
You said about AI, and my wife right now is crazy about AI with the pictures, with the writing text, with generating ideas and so on. I think this is something that we all have to dig deeper in. We are right now sort of missing the start where many professions might go obsolete in the next 1-2 years, right? Those are the copywriters, those are the maybe creative people, those are developers for some really simple tools or algorithms. Basically, what I see right now AI doing in drawing, right, and in giving you the concepts, the visual ones, or the ideas, or the text. I mean, it's sort of starting, right? I mean, I haven't heard a lot about AI really creating stuff a year ago. So I think this is something that we all have to embrace very, very soon and understand basically how we can be using this to optimize our everyday life, our questioning, I don't know, asking Google and so on. Looks like we can use AI for many of those things. And they will be replacing, I think, a lot of the jobs in the next year. Not only drivers, but also artists potentially.
Oh, yeah. Well said. Max, what a treat, man. Thanks again. Appreciate it. Before you go, can you please let our listeners know where they can find you and CoinsPaid online and on socials?
Yes, great. So my name is Max Krupyshev. Krupyshev, I don't know, you probably will have me in the name of the podcast.
100%.
This is a very, very rare last name. So if you Google me, it's only me. I mean, even the last name, not the first one. So you can find me everywhere. I'm on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on Telegram. Pretty much the handle everywhere is the same. So if you like to chat, have some business exchange of business ideas, or have some collaboration, I would be glad to. Our websites are coinspaid.com and cryptoprocessing.com. One being more for like a company website. The second one is more like a business website. Would be glad if our speech was here useful, and if you have some ideas to exchange or even connect your businesses to accept crypto, to embrace this new economy, would be glad to route you in the correct to the correct sales manager on our side.
What a pitch. Love that. Max, thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Matt. And ciao, everyone. Have a great year.
Folks, what an epi from Max Krupyshev, co-founder and CEO of crypto payment ecosystem CoinsPaid. Do go check him out if you are looking to have crypto payment processing on your website. What a great episode with Max. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Shout out the team. Love you guys so much. Thanks for everything you do. Eustace, my amazing sound editor. Appreciate you, man. And to the listeners, love you guys. Keep on growing those bags. Keep on staying healthy, wealthy, and happy. And let's build some momentum in this lovely start to 2023. Let's get after it. All the best, and we'll talk soon.